Hello guys, welcome to the part 4 of the Third Eye series. So the part 4 and part 5 of this series will be dealing with totally domain names. So what is a domain name? So let's say that you are having an email alice@gmail.com. Alice is your username, at Gmail is the domain name, .com, .in, these are all stands for commerce, etc, etc. Government.gov, gov stands for government, etc. So we are going to analyze what is a domain and what are the parts of a domain, and furthermore we can analyze a website domain name and what weaknesses it has, is it safe or not. So a lot of perspectives are here. So this is a very big topic, so I have categorized this into two parts. So in the first two parts we'll be seeing half of it, and in the part 5 of the Third Eye series we'll be seeing the next half. So going further, so you can see in domain name there are various categories. There are whois records, subdomains, discovery, certificate search, passive DNS, etc, etc. So even after this there are a lot of sub categories and tools that are available to analyze a domain or a website. So the first tool we are going to see is called a trace route. So what is a trace route? So let's say that I'm going to facebook.com. So from my system to facebook.com, there will be a lot of devices or routers to reach the Facebook web server. So what is the path it took? So to analyze that path, we use this trace route. So here the test location starts from Virginia and EC2 instance, that's Amazon. I will typing facebook.com and start the test. So the test is running and we got the results, and you can see this is the path it took exactly to start from the EC instance to reach Facebook server, and in run 2 this is the path that it took. So you can see it took 10 hops to reach the Facebook server in the first run, and here it took 11 hops to reach the Facebook server, and in the third one also it took 10 hops to reach the Facebook server. So this gives you how many hops it takes to reach the destination server that you're going to analyze. The next website that we are going to see is siteliner.com. So when we are entering a website, I'm entering here a website called cyberproblog.com. Here it will analyze what is your website look like, how much HTML pages you have, what kind of scripts you have, what kind of duplicate content you have, broken links, etc, etc. So this will give you a report about your website. If you are a website developer, this is very much useful for you in case if you want to profile your website, or else if you are securing your website, this will give you a profile what kind of data is visible outside in the open source. So I can see certain duplicate content, other website comparison, etc. This is like a basic report. Moving on. So the next one is website outlook.com. This will give you some data about registered owner, etc. So I have entered facebook.com, so you can see what are the details for facebook.com is available. You see here website information. So the goal here is to gather as much as possible about a website. So if you are securing your own website, you need to gather as much information that is available on the web as possible and filter out the sensitive information that could be used against your website. A bad threat actor could use some data about your website that is very much publicly available to hack into your website. So this gives some details. So I'm just going here. You can see how many backlinks are there, domains are there, URLs, IPs. This gives a very good report here. You can see how many total keywords are there. and some DNS details. So as you know, DNS is used for domain name service, that is used to convert your domain name into IP addresses. So you can see it has converted the domain name to IP address, and domain name records are there. So if you guys want more information about DNS, let me know. I can post a video about it. So IP address information, what is the location it gives, and you can see who is record of this domain. Lot of information is there. You can see registered email, registrant email. You can extract all this information to analyze if you can find something sensitive. Moving on to similarweb.com. Here I have used this cyberproblog.com website, and you can see how many visits, and if there is any bounce rate, any page per visit, etc. we can get. So not much information is available about this website. You see how much change it has done over the last month. Like it has done 16.04% of change in the last month. So here nothing much details are there about the geography, etc, etc. So if you are analyzing your own website, these data might show up that might be useful for you. So in this case there is nothing much, so I'm just moving on. So here there is another website called Clear Web Stats. Let's see what kind of data we can get here. So estimated valuation is there, how many income the website gets, what is the website worth, you can see what kind of risk it has, what is the location, what is the hosted IP address, etc, etc. And whenever it sends a request, so what is the kind of header it sends back, you can see, and with what technology it has hosted. It uses WordPress. This is quite some information that is useful, and some who is records. So these data might be redundant, but this will be also useful if you just put it in a single place. Moving on. So this SEO book stands for search engine optimization. So whenever you are in Google or YouTube, you should know what is search engine optimization, so that your website or your channel that will pop out in the first or show first in the results, those kind of stuff, how this search engine optimization works kind of thing. So this is a book. So whenever you try to enter some data here, let's see, work.com. So nothing much is here, so I'm just moving on. So what about the site DOS here? So when I entered google.com in site DOS here, you can see what is this IP addresses this google.com has been hosted on. Some kind of text about this website. You see some kind of website that is redirecting to google.com. So this is some kind of different information that is not very much valuable. Moving on. So here DNS twister.report, when I put cyberproblog.com, you can see all the records of DNS here. So we can gather DNS data from here. You see, this is not the exact website, this is the exact website, and you can see some DNS record. MX record is not available. So moving on. So what kind of technology this cyberproblog.com is built with? Okay, that we want to know. So you see some kind of different kind of websites, and you want to know what kind of technology those websites are built with. So this is the website that you come to. So when I put cyberproblog.com, you can see it uses Gravatar profiles, WordPress plugins, IE, Package, Sitelink search box, Yoast plugins, Jetpack. You can see all kind of technology. It uses Brave browser rewards, etc. etc. So this can be very much useful in identifying the technology of a website that is using. Let's say there's a weakness in a website, and for example, it's like WordPress, and there is a vulnerability in one application of WordPress, and you want to exploit it. So if you know that it uses WordPress only, then it will be very much specific for you to attack that website, or else protect your website from vulnerabilities as well. There are two ways. One is the dark way that I don't appreciate it, and one is the protective mindset that we are working on right now. Okay, moving on. This is also, this OSINT website gives you this DNS records, source records, the same information that we saw earlier, but quite a lot of information is there. It depends upon your comfort, like what kind of website you want to use. I'm just showing you all the options available. You can select which website that serves you comfortably. Moving on to statscrop.com. This gives you stats about your website. So here I have chosen facebook.com. So you can see the domain age 26 years, global rank is 5, where the primary traffic is United States, etc. etc. SEO scores, load time. This gives you very much useful information about a website. Daily bandwidth, ad revenues, website worth, you see. Site traffic data is there, daily visitors by country is there. This is a very much good stats, you know. Daily visitors by subdomain is there, keywords, what are the most used keywords in Facebook, linking in. This one gives a lot of, this is a very useful website, this statscrop.com, as you can see. I'll just leave it to your comfort to explore this website. Moving on. I have entered this cyberproblog.com again, and you can see again DNS records, IP address it's hosted in, where is the IP based location, and these are all redundant data that we saw earlier. Moving on. So what kind of security it uses, what kind of security it lacks? These are the two questions that we normally ask as a penetration tester. So here you can see certain security measures that lacks, X-frame options, content security policy, these and all it lacks. So this website should be safeguarded using these technologies further. So if you're hosting your own website and you see that certain flaws are there in your website, you can use this website to analyze those flaws and then patch it according to your needs. So that's the use of this website. Moving on. And this is mailboxvalidator.com, and this will show you the domain is active and no MX records, so it's not using an email system. So this is about totally about email system that is available on a domain or a website. If it's available, it will show you. So moving to next one. So URL query also gives you certain details about a certain URL. It will analyze this website. So I have entered here cyberproblog.com, and it has analyzed this website and gives you a report. This is totally a security report. Any network intrusion detection done, any threat detection systems available, open phishing, fish tank, fortified. You can see a lot of things are there, and how many JavaScript files it uses. This is very much useful. You can see the HTTP transactions, how this HTTP requests are going, and what kind of URLs it kind of communicates with whenever you load that page. This will be quite useful if you are profiling a website. Moving on. Moving on to urlvoid.com. So let's see what kind of data it gives. It also has this whois lookup, DNS records, ping records, etc. Let's see anything. So it is also scanning all the engines that are available for specific data about a website. So you can see nothing found is there, so we can't see anything. But if some data is found, you can just go and see in the more details here. So moving on to forticar.com. So this website will give you what is the rating of a website. So when I entered cyberproblog.com, give 7.0 out of all the values that it has. This is just a quality of a website it projects. That's all. This is the use. And let's say if I want to know if a website is safe, I just come across a phishing site. I'm just suspicious if that site is phishing something or not. So you want to know if it's safe, then you can come to trendmicro.com. So I have entered facebook.com here, and it shows it's very much safe and no signs of phishing. So if you put some kind of phishing website, it will show you that it is involved in phishing. Moving on. So malware scanner. So whenever you are visiting dangerous sites that provides or distributes malware, it's better to be aware. So this is the site that will give you results on if any malware is found or how much security risk this website poses. So you can see no malware found for this website, and minimum low security risk is there. So if it's high or critical, you might have to double check when you are visiting that website. Let's see what and all other values it gives. You see no website application firewall detected, some kind of security considerations it has found. So if you want to safeguard your website, it's better to go through these reports to safeguard it. Moving on to threatminer.com. Same kind of data, nothing much, but it gives you some pages of that website as well. I don't think that it's much useful. So Zulu. So I'm just going to Google. So this doesn't give you much data. It just gives you some general results, like is it safe or not. So not much useful in this moving. What about this joesandbox.com? So Joe Sandbox is a website that is a sandbox that you can utilize to run your URLs and store the results. For example, here you choose your file. Let's say that you have a .exe file, executable file. You first choose the analysis architecture, the operating system, and choose an executable or a browse URL, or both you can use, and then choose an analysis system, and then what kind of customization you need and what kind of settings you need, and then analyze with Joe Sandbox. So this is a public profile that will be stored. So whenever an executable or URL is scanned, what kind of analysis is done? Let's say you are analyzing a malware. So what kind of data it could scan from that malware? So this is totally a malware analysis tool that also could be used for URL as well. Moving on, you see reputation. So brightcloud.com gives you how much reputation this has. So in the security perspective, So this is a moderate risk, like 60 out of 100. So nothing much is useful from this. You can see some no infections past 12 months, low popularity, etc. etc. I will just move on to next one. So Alien Vault will provide you some data about URLs as well. So when I search this URL, you can see some data about it. Here all the data we got, you see IP address, SOE records. So these are all DNS records and some generic records about this URL. So these data we have already collected. So I told you like there are a lot of options available. So this is like an extra option for you. So I think I have done for today. So the upcoming part 5 will also deal with the domain name. So see you then. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.